One Tower Chimps, the epitome of BTD6 awesomeness. It has been done with Sada, it has been done with Geraldo, it has been done with Corvus, and maybe other heroes, I guess, but it's definitely been done with those three in particular. But when we jump to monkeys themselves, no monkey has ever won Tower Chimps, ever. But I wanted to test something out. I wanted to see, can a tower that is too expensive to start off on Chimps mode with, like a Monkey Ace, Heli Pellet, Mortar, Dartling Gun, Super Monkey, Village, actually beat Chimps mode on its own if you just give the money to start? So a Super Monkey costs $2,700, and by the way, I'm going to be playing all of my games on Cubism today. So we're going with the most expensive tower in the game right from the get-go, just to kind of see, is this guy that good? But when you're playing One Tower Chimps, the major issue is not necessarily the popping power, but the types of popping power that you need to have. For the first 25 rounds, 23 rounds or so, you don't need to worry about other types. But then in the late 20s, it all unfolds. Let's jump to there. So far, it's been all about just popping power. Up until round 23, we have not had to do any sort of weird balloon popping. I mean, technically blacks and whites, but they're not that obscure in most situations. But then, round 24 comes out, and you're like, oh, dang, I need cam detection. I can't afford cam detection. Round 25, purple balloons are going to come out. Not every monkey's got purple popping power. Round 28, you're going to have to deal with lead balloons already, and not everybody's got lead popping power. So this is where you start to lose runs, when you can't get the money necessary for these easy popping power towers. I'll be honest, this seems like ridiculous placement, because it kind of sucks when you, miss balloons quite a bit, but once we get going with big chunks of balloons, we have a lot of ability to micro here, and I think that's the key. As the balloons are coming in over here, we can aim them. As they're coming through this area over here, we can aim them. And, of course, at the very back, during these straight lines, we can aim them very, very well. And I think that's important for us. So, in addition, because everything's just kind of flopping all over each other, like, the amount of darts that are actually going to miss is not going to be that many. We're getting most of our popping power here on round 9, actually happening. So, yeah, I'm happy with that. But here's the thing. We have to deal with types of balloons again. We need camo detection for round 24, so we need to go middle path. We need faster barrel spin to be able to get to Hydro Rocket Pods, and we need the Hydro Rocket Pods before round 28, otherwise we lose. So that's the plan. We're going to go for a quick, I'm going to try to get a quick Hydro Rocket Pods going, but I don't know if the money's going to be there. We got 17 more rounds, save up like $5,000-ish. See how much is he? $5,185, dude. Is that going to happen? I don't think so. Let's see how close we can get. SJB! Second thing about the middle path Dartling gun is he's actually not that great at popping balloons. So we're actually struggling against total balloon popping power right now. We're able to manage. Round 19 is pretty difficult. Round 21 is also going to be really difficult, though. That's a bunch of yellow balloons as well. And then I have 7 more rounds to save up like $3,000, and I don't know if it's going to happen. 27 is good money, though, so maybe. Uh-oh, though. This is looking scary. We're hanging on by a thread, but that thread is good enough for me. Oh, nice, dude. Barely, but I love it. I love to see it. Oh, crap. Another big rush. Round 22 is surprisingly terrible. Why is this so awful? Oh, gosh. Okay. So that's weird. I was not expecting round 22 to be as dangerous as round 21, but we can try to micro this a little bit different. We can try to actually aim the front balloons here instead of trying to pop all the whites, because all the whites are going to be slower and all the pinks coming out. So we're going to give ourselves more time by aiming just the front balloons instead of just randomly popping everything. But it does mean that if we miss it all, it is going to kind of screw us up, which means that aiming here is definitely tricky. Yeah. It was tight. I think it's possible. I'm just going to have to micro a little bit. I don't want to say expert level micro, but definitely good micro, and we handle round 22. 23 is going to give us a little break in the middle here, so it shouldn't be as bad as round 22. I think. It's definitely still rough, though. Not super rough, just rough enough. Just lots of aiming in the very back here. We're at $3,000. We need another $2,000 in 4 rounds. Okay. Maybe. Just gonna throw it out there with a maybe. Got some purple balloons coming out here, but generally speaking, around 25, 26, and 27 usually aren't as bad as the other rounds. 27, though, we'll have to watch it carefully. If we can't get Hydro Rocket Pods by around 27, though, I think it's over. There's just no way. and it's not looking good right now. We need another 1,500 bucks. Oh, crap. We've got zebras coming out right now, too. I'm going to try to not hit the zebras yet. Keep them on the screen for a little bit longer. The less pinks that we have on the screen, the less we have to worry about Bloons just sneaking through our defense. But eventually, we do have to pop them. So, there we go. Leaving one black alive. That's good, good, good. Black down to stuff. And we take care of that. We got round 27 here. We need literally $1,100 out of this single round, and I don't think that's possible. In addition, I don't even think we can pop round 27 off the Bloons on the inside. So our Dartling gun run, unfortunately, pretty early game. We're going to get screwed. I mean, we could beat round 27, but round 28 is going to kill us. So, yeah, unfortunate. So I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I don't want to do a Monkey Ace run, and the reason why is that the lead popping power needs to be either you just go for an exploding pineapple, or you go for a full-on middle path Monkey Ace. And if you go for an exploding pineapple, it is, believe it or not, possible in some interesting and weird situations to pop round 28 and round 30 and round 37 and round 38 and maybe even some additional lead rounds. But holy crap, is it ridiculous to try to micro with a freaking exploding freaking pineapple. It's like impossible. There's not that many pineapples coming out. It's just ridiculous. So if you do go middle path, you will not survive long term. The mob's going to kill you. If you go for anything else, you're relying on trying to micro through lead balloons with a weird Monkey Ace play, and it just gets absurd. So I want to get to round 28 and just show you guys that I don't think it's going to be possible, but magically, it just like goes down easily. I'll continue on, but if it requires any sort of ridiculous micro whatsoever, I know that this is a one-tower Chimps, and it should be difficult, but I just don't think it's worth it. So we're not going to get that much further anyways. We're going to get stuck on a third tier or fourth tier Monkey Ace, and there's just really no point. Actually kind of intrigued that round 22 and stuff is going down without any issues with a random loads more darts exploding pineapple Monkey Ace here. We're going to get the camo detection. Again, we could go ball. Okay, round 23 is the first time that we're going to end up losing, but it's a bit of a randomness thing, and I think that we probably can beat round 23 with just a tiny bit of luck here. So, tiny bit of luck, tiny bit of luck. Tiny bit of luck, tiny bit of luck. Come on, give me some luck, give me some luck. Luck factor, RNG. Oh, we don't get it. Dang. Okay, it was a micro factor, I guess. I had to micro in between stuff, which I told you guys didn't want to freaking do. We got the spy plane up finally. I'm going to go for the fighter plane, and then once we get an Operation Dart Storm, we can actually pop a decent amount of balloons. But the question is, again, how difficult are the leads going to be with this weirdo pineapple nonsense? And or will we need to start doing a lot of luck factor kind of situations already? I mean, we've got zebras coming out soon. Zebras! Dude, that's a lot of pops. Blacks and whites and pinks all over. Really, the pinks are the big problem. Pineapple's actually getting pretty solid here. But again, all it takes is one balloon. One frickin' balloon. One balloon! One red balloon! One red balloon! Snipe it! Come on. Yes, we snipe it. Delicious. Round 27 shouldn't be that big of a deal. Round 28, though. Holy crap. All right, then. Round 28 is here. Lead balloons, surprisingly, gonna, I think, go down. 0 micro required. We just get lucky. Or wait, no, we still lose. We still lose. Ayo, 28 is dead. So, to be honest, it is requiring micro, but not as much as I thought it was going to. We have an Operation Dart Storm already, and I feel like I should probably just continue on. I should mention that I did go for a top path Monkey Ace, and even though it's probably more likely that a bottom path Monkey Ace would be better long term if we could actually get it going, I think the problem is round 40. Round 40 with an Evan targeting, I don't believe is enough pop power to pop both the Moab layer and all the ceramics on the inside. So I think we are kind of forced to go for a top path here just to pop round 40. And then the problem is getting a Sky Shredder then requires us to get $46,000, which is obviously a lot of money here. Whereas the bottom path would require us to only get $20,000 to get a fourth tier, which is obviously superior in pretty much every single way compared to an Operation Dart Storm. It increased balloon popping power, increased Moab popping power, increased everything, and then that would open us up to maybe affording, as ridiculous as it is, a freaking flying fortress, which would actually be Chimps mode, by the way. Unfortunately, again, the Moab is just too big of a hurdle for us to take down, so instead, how long can we survive with this fourth tier before things go to poop land? More lead balloons, but pineapples are doing their job, as interesting as it is, or at least close enough to their job. We've got ceramics coming out too, and they seemingly are dying. But it is definitely still a luck factor thing, because look at this. Lead Bloons taking through. Oh, wait. Oh, damn. My web. Check it out, boys. Check it out. Okay, that was not as great as I would have hoped here. We can again try to micro, but there's not much to do. I mean, like how much can you really get here that's actually good? Not much, but maybe a little bit. Some good circly action. Back to this motion. I'm just freaking done, man. Even if we pop around 40, we're not saving up 45 grand. It's gonna end soon. I don't know when, but it's not enough. It's not a one-tower chimps. Why even try? Here's one that really intrigues me. But again, we have to do some weird decision-making right from the get-go. Which cross path do we want? I mean, top path is explosive. We got spiked mines that we can easily afford, but super mines, now we're gonna get it. So, Spike Storm, very reasonably affordable. Gonna help us out in the tough rounds. It's an ability, so it's gonna come back pretty much every round if we want it to. Maybe. Carpet of Spikes, absolutely delicious. Might actually get us late game here as well, which is kind of crazy. Permaspike, good, reasonably long-term tower, but unfortunately Deadly Spikes is kind of expensive for its worth, and jumping to a Permaspike is going to be just too much. So we're kind of, I don't want to say forced into it, but the middle path seemingly is, if we're trying to go long-term, the best long-term option. We can actually get a 5th tier flowing, we can actually afford it in a reasonable way, and I think that I want to do it. So, middle path it is. Cross path-wise, we do want to get the lead popping power, so we're going to go for a 2-4 or 2-5 if we can ever afford it. But let's be honest, our biggest hurdle is going to be total popping power early-ish game. Round 15 even, around 22, 23, all those rounds could, like, technically kill us, even though it kind of sucks. And that's where I would have liked to get maybe a 3-2 spike factor, because they are significantly better against the Bloons. But again, doesn't really play long-term. Getting a 4th tier is going to only get us to maybe around 40, 45 or something like that, but never going to take us long-term. Round 15, not bad. All right, we got a 0-2 spike factor at this point. Unfortunately, again, Moab Shredder isn't going to do much for popping power, so we're going to go for the bigger stacks instead. Then we're going to go for the lead popping power, and then we still have to go Moab Shredder, and we still have to go all up to 4th tier here, and I think we're going to die pretty soon, which is, again, just very, very unfortunate to know that a 3-2 could get further, but it will not take us actually further. And we have come up into our first major issue / hurdle. Again, Moab Shredder doesn't actually do any extra popping power, so there's really not a point to it. The cool thing is we could have bought a Spike Balls right now. Like, this is a possibility. But, again, just, what's the point? So, 27, that's it. So Heli Pilot's going to run us $1,730, which, to be honest, is not bad at all for a Heli Pilot. Like, he's a really reasonable tower to get going in here, and of course, he's going to easily, in my opinion, solo all the way through to round 23, no problem. Now, at this point, we can afford cam detection. In fact, it's not even going to be that bad. Bigger Jets is only $325, and then it unlocks IFR for $650, so easily going to also afford camera detection. In addition, he's got purple popping power, so we can even pop round 25. So as long as we have our total popping power going, we will easily surpass even the Super Monkey, the weird little Heli Pilot. Alright, it's around round 19 already, and the popping power is definitely struggling a little bit. We got to put him on follow mouse just to chase these Bloons, but it looks like with the Heli Pilot here, it's going to be tight. But we will manage for round 19, and I believe that the rest of the 20s here won't be that big of a deal. You actually have much less Bloons coming out, even though they're higher tier Bloons. So round 21 should go down easily. 20 should go down easily. Round 21, on the other hand, might not. So now we have to already decide, how do we get more popping power? Do we go quad darts, or do we go faster fire rate? Well, if we wanted to think super duper long term here, we can't, because we have to worry about lead Bloons already. So we have to figure out what pops lead Bloons. And it's going to be only the top path Heli. So we have to go for the quad darts, we have to go for the pursuit, and we have to go for the razor rotors here, all just to pop round 28. So we're already locked into a pathway by round, 23 here? 24? We're locked into cam detection, we're locked into lead popping power. We have to do this. So we have to see how far can an Apache Dart ship, or maybe if we can afford it, an Apache Prime go. Good question. At this point, things are going pretty good still. Even against ceramics and everything, razor rotors is kind of dominating, to be honest. But we do have round 40 coming up. Now, I know kind of for a fact a pretty generous fact that I don't think we're going to lose against the Moab. Razor Roto's Heli is pretty solid across the board here, but he does have some weaknesses. Big chunks of Rip Bloons, and I'm actually worried about round 43, 47, 49. Those are all rounds that I don't know that this Razor Rotos can handle, even if I micro him well, by kind of locking him in place and moving him around right where he needs to be. So, to be honest, a little worried about round 43 here, but we are admittedly getting close-ish to an Apache Dart ship. And if we can make that happen, I mean, that's going to delay the loss for a long time here. All right, round 43, this is a big balloon level. You can see the balloons are getting a lot further, but they're still going down. Don't forget, 47 is even bigger than 43, and 49 is even bigger than 47. So the good news is $5,000 is not a lot of money in the 40s. 40s give you tons of frickin' money here, so I am not afraid, to be honest. I think Apache Dart ship's going to happen. The only thing that happens when you get an Apache Dart ship is he loses some of his black popping power, basically. Those darts start to become missiles, and the missiles can't explode the blacks, so it just becomes kind of like a weird little issue. Even though Razor Rotos can still pop the black layer, it doesn't give you as much, like, extra damage as you might imagine in a lot of kind of weird situations here. All right, we've got reinforced ceramics coming in. Again, Razor Rotos, though, is actually really solid. Believe it or not, a single Razor Rotos Heli is going to get us all the way through to round 47. It's going to generate us enough money to get an Apache Dart ship with camo detection, and we're going to start to dominate pretty hard here. Dang! So I kind of want to show off 48 and 49, just kind of the difference here. I know I would have lost, I think I would have lost around 49, unless I microed like a freaking god. Because I think the regen balloons would have gotten in the way, on top of ceramics just kind of overflowing us and everything. But Heli Pilot surviving half of Chimps mode as a one-tower chimp so far is honestly pretty cool. I'm kind of impressed, actually. The next step, by the way, would be to get an Apache Prime, which is $50,000. Probably going to cost us upwards, or probably going to take us until around 82, 83, something like that, to actually get that much money. But, I mean, can an Apache Dart ship survive that long? If there's going to be a round that kills us, it's probably going to be balloon rounds, believe it or not. Round 63, round 76, maybe even round 78. Or a weird spaced Moab rush, which is kind of his weakness. He's good against group, decent enough against group Moabs, decent enough against group balloons, but when you have spaced stuff, those explosions don't do as much damage. So they'll really have to kind of micro that and like manage it a little bit to make it work properly, but you can see even against multiple different space Moabs at this point, we can still handle them okay. And we're actually like 1/3 of the way to an Apache Prime. It's kind of crazy, actually. So, yeah, I mean, 63, that's the next big hurdle. Oh, dang. I left to go, do some things in the bathroom. And when I came back, I was expecting to see you lost and have to, like, press retry round. But that didn't happen. we beat everything so far, no problem, with a single Apache Dart ship. We're currently on round 72, going strong, and we only need $2,000 more to get an Apache Prime. I'm kind of sad that I don't get to show you guys around 63, but just know that it got beaten without any micro whatsoever. That's pretty cool. So, Apache Prime before the tough rounds, too, which is really awesome. Round 75 and 76 would normally kill us here with an Apache Dart ship, I think. In fact, let's just kind of test it out, see if 75 will end up taking us down. I'm kind of curious. 75! Alright, so there's a possibility that we're going to be able to manage this one. And I believe that round 76 is going to kill us just because the explosions, I know that normally they just regen the balloons a lot. He doesn't pop the blacks properly and just kind of ends in disaster. So if we do pop round 75, I think mid-round 76, if it doesn't look like we're going to beat it, I'm just going to Apache Prime it up. And I think it should be an easy takedown, even if they start to regen at that point, just because he is so freaking strong. All right, so far, though, this is actually quite impressive. So it's looking okay, but it's not going to happen. With an Apache Prime, though, ooh, not enough. All right, so that's not a big deal. We're going to press retry last round. We're getting the Apache Prime early this time, and that's an easy takedown. You can see the difference there. And now, dang, dude, if we had a 4th tier getting us to round 75, or round 76, rather, a 5th tier, we should dominate for a long time. In addition, we should note that the Apache Prime is a cam detector, so even when we get to DDTs and stuff, he shouldn't end up having too many issues. Kind of. So Apache Prime's interesting because he's got a variety of different attacks here. He's got the purple plasma blasts. Let's get back to follow mouse here. He's got the missiles. He's got the laser blast here, and I don't know exactly what everything does to perfection, but the missiles are generally kind of okay for the balloons, and the blasts themselves are actually much better against the Moabs. So usually, when playing this, if you micro properly, leaving him at the front of the map and having him pop the Moabs is actually a better strategy for you. So, yeah, we got the lasers and the plasmas, and I guess I never really paid attention to how many different attacks he has, but everything's going really good. I think I'm going to meet you guys back when we start to see some big balloons, maybe 85, 87, something like that, just going to see how we're going to do here. In addition, I'm just going to leave him on pursuit. I'm not really worried about the balloons for a while, so I think he'll do his thing and do it fine. All right, here we go. We got our first big reinforced level, and admittedly, this is kind of an issue. Reinforced balloons, for some reason, tend to just walk through the defense a lot better than regular balloons. In addition, we've got round 90 coming up, so we're going to leave him on pursuit still, but let's check out the DDT popping power here. We leave it on slow mode. We got some straight lines here, but you can tell he is chasing for quite a while before we pop one DDT. Second DDT is going to pop about halfway through the map here, and third DDT will pop about a little further than half. So 90 should be fine, 93 should be fine, 95 though, oh, I don't freaking know, dude. 95 could be the killer for us. DDTs could be the end. And admittedly, we are sacrificing some of our pop power here for the camo detection, but we need that in a one-tower Chimps. We cannot go without it. But it's nice to know that he has every single type pop power as a 4th tier, as a 3rd tier, a 4th tier, and a 5th tier. That's one of the only towers that can really do that, you know? Allowing us to do this weird one-tower Chimps nonsense. All right, more reinforced balloons. At this point, you might be thinking, Chris, show me off the cool micro. Well, this is what I would do. I would leave him on something like follow mouse. I'd just leave him on top of the balloons, the big balloons, and then if I need to, I'll just jump over and pop some random balloons as they're kind of like sneaking through the back of my defense here. This is how I would do it personally, but this is not a round that we actually need to worry about it too much. So this is not like an absolutely need to micro kind of situation. It's more of just a do you want to pop it quicker kind of situation. And if you do, this is the way to do it. Just gotta revolve around the balloons and let it all eventually flow into death upon us. All right, DDTs again. So I'm gonna try to manually micro this. I want to pop specifically the DDTs. So it's difficult to do, but I'm gonna try to chase from the middle of the DDTs pack instead of from the very front. So I can do more damage to more DDTs over time. And it looks like we got some balloons in the back, 2 DDTs in the very back here, 1 DDT, and it's going to sneak through. Okay, let's just try a full pursuit. Let's see if my micro was awful and DDTs are actually easy to pop. I just need to let them fly. And no, there was 2 that snuck through that time. So that's actually very interesting. I think I can change up my strategy just a little bit by trying to not pop a BFE right from the get-go and doing that at the very end of the map here. Instead, we're going to shoot down a straight line as much as possible with our Plasma Blast, which is the main thing that's actually killing the DDTs right now. The missiles don't do anything. Nothing really does much. All right, we got the middle DDT taken down. We got the 2 from the front taken down. One last one ready to go, and we go! It was so close! All right, we're going to have more balloons in the way this time by putting this in the front, but I'm going to go with it anyways. Again, we got to focus the Plasma Blast on the DDTs themselves. It's going okay at this point. Still a lot of balloons in the way. We're down to our last 3 DDTs, though. 2 DDTs, 1 DDT, some ceramics on the inside, and it looks like we will manage the DDTs on round 93. Question is, can we pop the balloons on round 93? I believe so. I don't think it's going to be a major issue, but I will tell you, reinforced balloons generally are a pretty decent problem for Apache Prime. All right, I popped all the BFPs at once, which is usually not a good thing, but there's not that many balloons, and we manage. All right, 94, another very, very big balloon round. This is where you want to just get rid of some of the balloons, get rid of some of the Moabs and everything. Oh, crap, oh, crap, oh, crap, 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 crap. All right, so the micro has to be pretty decent. Even with a fast-moving heli pilot here, I'm not able to chase down those balloons, so maybe a little less adventurous with our fast popping on these things. This is actually a very good spot just to leave, to be honest. It's kind of weird, but it just kind of works. I wonder if a lock in place would have been better against almost everything except for probably the DDTs. Don't even put them on pursuit, just lock in place. Interesting question there. All right, now here's the unfortunate thing. We struggled against round 93. Round 95 is going to be so much more ridiculous. It's just impossible. We're 5 rounds away from a 1-tower Chimps, but it will not be possible. There's no way. There's just no way that we can pop the DDTs and all the balloons and all the crap here. Even with a good lock in place, even with a good micro, even with good everything, it's not happening. I mean, we're going to pop like 4 DTs, the 20 or so. It's the end of our run. But it was a good run. I'm actually not upset with that. Patch Prime, 1 Tower Chimps, good run. Before we go any further, I just want to mention Mortar. I'm not going to deal with it because we need to get camo detection, which means we're forced into getting a signal flare, any Bernie stuff, and he's just not good. He's just not good for long-term gameplay. So, unfortunately, getting that path just automatically screws us over, specifically against round 40. I'm just calling it right now. So I'm not even going to show it off. But every other monkey you can technically do a chimp start with. You can do them with all of the primary monkeys. You can do it with a sniper. You can do it with a sub. You can do it with a buccaneer. You can do it with a wizard monkey. You can do it with a ninja, an alchemist, a druid. I mean, is it going to be difficult or even really actually possible? Maybe. But you can get them. You can buy them. They all cost less than $650. So, yeah. 1 Tower Chimps, man. The Heli Pilot's the only one that even gets close these days. If you guys enjoyed, press that like button, subscribe, and have a super duper delicious day.